a thing from the Rockabilly subreddit that I really liked. I didn't know if I was going to find something funny. But I did. And this is from our Rockabilly. And the question is, how did you transition from normal to Rockabilly?
Oh, that's a very cool question. No,
well, I spent 3 years on TNT.
I mean, yeah, so like, yeah, I guess asking like, did you just go straight up, just like, boom, you got into it? But that is, listen, we laugh at the question, but yeah, it's like, hey, I'm an adult. I want to get into Rockabilly. You judge me all you want, but that's my decision I'm making. How do I do it? Do I slowly sort of ease in, start picking up a few of the pieces of clothing, or do I just get the whole outfit right away? And yeah, I'd need to know how to start. I would need to know.
The person says, a few months back, I decided to drastically change the way I dress and go from Rockabilly every now and then to full out Rockabilly style as often as I can. There's been a few comments, almost 100% positive, but aside from, wow, when did you start doing this? No one's really said anything. So how did you transition to Rockabilly? Fast, slow? Was it always part of your life in some way? Or is it something you've discovered as you've gotten older? So this guy's coming out to the people around him
as a Rockabilly person, and he's not getting, he wants more people to be like outwardly excited about it. Like they're just saying like, hey, when did you start doing that? Like, which is a normal human response to someone changing their style. If he wants people to be like, this is fucking epic, this is awesome, I want to get into, like, he wants people really excited for him, which is he's not getting.
He's got the rockin' dysphoria and the gender wender blues.
That's it is funny to think of like these are guys that 100% think that what they're doing makes them really hot. And it's like,
it's an aesthetic. It's a huge aesthetic thing. So it's all about how you're presenting yourself out in public. And it is in a very like classically like big and aggressively, like a peacocking kind of way. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Guys that work at there's two jobs. I think me and Brace had talked about this. There's two jobs. There's barbershop.
Yep.
And there is guy that works on like cars and motorcycles, but doesn't work on like, would never work on like a Prius. They're working on like classic.
I see. They're only working like 70s or like 80 or below, like nothing.
a big wrench. Yeah, that's so to paint you a picture of the average Rockabilly, right? We're gonna get a guy, because I'm literally just picturing a Rockabilly guy I know, 45 years old, a pompadour made up of some of the thinnest hair that you could possibly ever assemble on the top of a motherfucking dome. Little sideburn, little lightning bolts of sideburn. Not actually in the lightning, but little juts of sideburn right there.
Yeah.
We're talking probably maybe a plain white tee. But realistically, probably a somewhat faded, demented Argo t-shirt.
Possibly sort of rolled up sleeves, rolled up, maybe.
God, yes.
Maybe. Possibly the sleeves rolled up. If he's really going for the vintage look, he's got a pack of them Marlboro Reds.
Yeah, he's got the smokes
rocking in there.
Yeah.
He has got a veritable pornographic magazine's worth of naked women tattooed on his arms.
Yes. Huge thing.
This is blowing my mind right now, and I'm going to tell you why it's blowing my mind so much when you're finished. I'll wait till the end, but please.
Down to the crotchal area, we are observing now a belt buckle. Doesn't really matter what it is. Probably an eagle, possibly though, although this might have gone out of style post Charlottesville, an Iron Cross. But not in the most ignorant of history. Like they wouldn't even be able to tell you what that is
it's
from.
Not a political statement.
It might accidentally be, but it is not an on purpose political statement.
Yeah.
Some of the, like I said, stiffest blue jeans you could ever, like things that, like if you took them off of him, which rarely happens, but if you took them off of him, could stand up straight on their own. And then we are getting down to the feet, and we are rocking the kicks we are rocking with in the parlance of today are either, do you know what creepers are?
No, I mean
two-tone, because there's I read about two-tone shoes, and then I saw the word creepers. I didn't know what they were.
So creepers are shared amongst all kind of like I would say like sub-punk loser subcultures. So like they're really big in ska, and they're really big
Ooh.
in like the swing revival movement. They're really big. Kind of everything that got big in the 90s. Precisely, yes. So down at the feet of the Rockabilly Gentlemen, we are looking at a pair of probably fairly loud creepers.
So they're like dress shoes. They're like dress shoes, but
Dress
then
shoes.
they're like leather dress shoes with the white and the black.
They're
And
thick-soled. They're thick-soled,
yeah.
and often felt on the sort of where the laces are. And the classic is, of course, the leopard print there on his arm, underneath his outstretched arm, is his girlfriend. They are all married. I hate to say this, but they are all married.
So they're
They're
okay.
all
They're
married.
okay as they're able to find partners.
Oh,
a lot of
if they're-
rockabilly women, like maybe
see.
more than men. Really.
Yes.
I see. So the community's filled, so they're able to pair off with each other quite easily. That's
Oh,
because
yeah,
some of
yeah.
our communities have an issue with that.
No, oh, absolutely. No, these guys are married. So women love this. So the woman is, first of all, her job. He's a grease monkey, or he works at any number of, the guy either works at a barbershop or any job with like a fancy apron. So he could be a butcher, tattoo shop, kind of anything where you can have like a bespoke old-timey apron.
Yeah, he could be a butcher. He could be a butcher.
100%. She only has he has those like 4 jobs he can choose from. Unfortunately, she can only have one job, and that job is vintage reseller. So she has an Etsy store, most likely, possibly a shop if she's more advanced, and wears kind of like a big red dress, has tattoos of a pair of old-timey Sailor Jerry, or a tattoo of a pair of cherries on her ankle. And possibly
so she goes thrifting a lot. Like she spends most of her day thrifting and then sells it at Etsy shop or whatever, and then if that business takes off, maybe gets a storefront going. But that's tough, because doesn't seem fair, because the men get the choice of 3 jobs in the Rockabilly community.
That's true. But really, all of the apron jobs are the same job. It's the same, it's the same
you're
job.
chopping something up.
Exactly.
Whether it's hair or meat or whatever. But you know why that blew my mind when you were describing Rockabilly guy physically, is because I mentioned this on Twitter, and to Bryan, is that my old barber is the only Rockabilly guy that I know.
There you go,
and the description you just gave was, you could have actually been describing him on any given day that I saw him.
Yes.
Dress, hair, tattoos, all of it. He had all of the stuff you described. Is actually quite unbelievable. It is really, there's not a lot of variety in the aesthetic, is there? There's a little bit, for creativity, but it's pretty uniform.